even field honors, Michael Andruchow.
This hill sits behind Rhode Island's West Warwick High School. And on a hot July day with the humidity unbearable, Athletic Director Jim Alves was getting into his truck to go home.
And I saw these two kids running up and down the hill with their shirts off, and it had to be in the mid-90s. And I said, who does this anymore? Like today's kid, you know, there's so much more tugging them towards their phone and video games, and you know what I'm saying? And he was out there, you know. I said, you guys are blowing me away. I've never seen kids from your generation doing stuff like this. Just to have the maturity and responsibility and the individual drive to come out here on a day like this, you got to know that nobody's doing this. Your competition isn't doing this. And that's why I thought he was just a unique fit for the award. Perfect fit.
His name is Michael Andruchow. And to understand who he is, you have to understand where he comes from.
Michael is a product of his family. His family is of phenomenal character. They're just really classy people, hardworking people.
My dad, he was in the Marines. He runs our household still very, I wouldn't say strict, but like structured. So I learned a lot of that from him. And my mom, she's been working with kids in West Warwick for many years. And she's just been very generous and helpful with her time to other people. So I feel like it really showed me what it means to be a leader. And then character-wise, I give all that to my parents. And again, my older brothers, they showed me what was right, what was wrong, how to act in certain situations, how to keep it cool, keep your composure, and then just help people around you, honestly. So I feel like I took a lot from them.
Michael wanted to follow in his older brother's footsteps. On the basketball court, that meant putting in the work.
He'd call me and text me on a Sunday night, and he wanted to use the shooting machines. It was just him in the gym and my son and a couple other kids on the team. And he was very conscious about how many shots he took from where. And then he was running suicides in between the shots.
The team's basketball coach is Greg Kortick.
Since I've been head coach, I've never had a kid who's worked that hard, where all of a sudden I'll be sitting at home and I'll get an email from him like, hey, is there any way you can come open up the gym? I want to use the shooting machine.
Co-captain Colin Kelly has known Michael since fourth grade and describes him as relentless.
He's always going 100%. He never takes any time off, whether it's, it's Sunday practice at 9 a.m. or it's a night practice. It's always 100%.
Michael had been named a captain as a junior, something Coach Kortick had not done before. Now as a senior, Michael would lead a young team with no returning starters.
I'm a big believer in, I don't want a captain who's going to yell and scream at kids, all right? Sometimes that's necessary. To me, the best captains are the ones where they're working so hard that you can't not work hard. And that's Michael to a T.
This year, Michael dealt with shin splints, but had no interest in leaving the floor.
We would have to order him to say, Michael, you need to sit out this drill. Because he would get mad. He wouldn't want to sit out. And we're like, Michael, for your health, you need to sit down. We need you to play the games. And it was a battle. Normally you're battling the other way. You're trying to battle, hey, come and practice. It was a battle to get him off the practice court.
Matt Gamma has known Michael since his sophomore year, first as his math teacher, then as his track coach, and eventually as a friend.
He's a very caring person. He's a quiet leader, and that's a huge thing. He's not the most vocal person, but he leads by example. He could know when I'm in a bad mood, so he'd come up and ask him what's wrong and things like that.
Matt is a cancer survivor.
He was very interested in how I was able to overcome it. Having people around you to, whether it's picking you up or helping you out and helping figure out what's going on, that's really important to his success. And I think that is just something natural that comes to him. You don't really see that in depth of that caring from a student, really.
Michael believes that the more you understand others, the better you can lead them.
Some teammates respond differently to different types of leadership. So you have to approach every situation differently, right? And if you have a personal relationship with them, especially my teammates, AU teammates, high school teammates, I've been playing with them for a while, so I know what kind of leadership they take up.
When there were troubled times in playoff game or whatever, they looked to him, and he gave a stoic example of what you should be doing.
don't get too high, don't get too low. I feel like being that vocal voice and the mature voice in the room, so when stuff gets bad or when things aren't going our way, maybe on the court, I feel like I can kind of set the tone and bring it back to an even keel level.
Michael Andruchow is insistent that every teammate be valued, regardless of class year or team role.
We're all the same, we all breathe the same air, we all bleed the same blood, right? So the culture around the team has to be everybody's equal. We know who our best players are, but everybody's equal in the fact that nobody gets treated differently.
Coach Kordick says this story speaks to Michael's impact on the court.
We played Moses Brown on a Thursday night, and we won at the buzzer, and it was a really kind of hard-fought battle. In the 32-minute game, we probably played him about 30 minutes that night. The next night, we had to go to Mount Hope. Michael had his worst shooting game of the year. I think he had 2 points. Fast forward to when we chose all division. You know, I put Michael's name up on the board. The Mount Hope coach picked him. The fact that he had his worst game against Mount Hope, and yet the Mount Hope coach still voted him for all division, to me, that's what speaks volumes about Michael.
I don't think there's a person in this building who would say anything or frown upon the name Mike Andruchow. I think everybody would give him glowing accolades, and we're really going to miss him.
I just don't know if anyone that I will coach will ever be the type of leader he is. He's just a special kid. He really is.
Evenfield Honors is proud to partner with the Rhode Island Interscholastic League and deeply grateful for the support of Mark Cruz and the Virtus Group.